I have my personal passion about how companies work, what make them tick, what make them have the next decision and the best decision, what really led me to Tagado. How can we give anyone at the company, any employee, have access to reliable, accurate, and organized data that can help him generate his next decision that will deliver the most ROI, the best ROI.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. 20-Minute Leaders is a proud supporter of Make-A-Wish Israel and Tech to Peace, and is in proud collaboration with Secret Chord Ventures, J Ventures, Riverside FM, Fusion VC, Birthright Excel, J Impact, Leap, Google for Startups, and Hippo, and in media partnership with CTech. Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Today I'm with Ohad, Zadok, the CEO and co-founder of Tagado, a company that collects customer feedback about companies and transforms them into business insights using natural language processing. Their platform allows companies to organize customer feedback from multiple channels and generate actionable business insights automatically. It gathers public and internal information from review sites, social media, support tickets, CRM, and more, and uses models of natural language processing and machine learning to identify trends and micro-trends, opportunities and risks, and flood them to the customer. He was the VP at product at Breezometer, which Google acquired, and also founded Gadgety, the largest tech website in Israel. In February of 2021, he founded Tagado with Eli and Dol. I'm really excited to have you here and talking about a subject that I'm so excited about, natural language processing. Another subject that I'm really passionate about is customer feedback and being able to build beautiful products, and the integration of the two through Tagado, your company, which I'm really excited to learn more about because it looks awesome. It looks, so relevant to today. Just recently ChatGPT was released, which I'm sure you've already spent half of your working day playing with because it's just so freaking awesome. And so it's a lot of things are happening with NLP. But first, I want to understand a little bit about yourself, your relationship with natural language processing, and with customer feedback on the other end. Tell me a little bit about yourself in the context of these two.
Sure. So I was a VP product at a company called Breezometer that was acquired by Google a couple of months ago. And during this time period, I was one of the first employees. And during this time, for almost 6 years, I was handling all the products in the company. And one of the main challenges that I had is every cycle, and enrollment cycle, when I was looking to understand what we should do next, what will benefit our customers and give them the most value, I had to go around the company and ask different departments about what might work for them and how they think we should improve the product and service to our customers. So what happened is that I discovered that a lot of this data is locked inside different silos in the company. So there was some data, some customer feedback in the marketing department, and some in the sales, the customer success and support, and some even in the product department. And I had to go to each and every department and ask them for their insights and their perspective on how we serve the customers best and how we can improve the product. So it was a tedious process that could take a few weeks to really build a roadmap around really listening to the customer. And the main problem was that the data wasn't reachable to everybody. So I had to go to each department and get this data by doing it by pull instead of getting it by push. Yeah, and it was a huge challenge, and I think that this is the main thing that led me to Tagado. Also, I have my personal passion about how companies work, what make them tick, what make them have the next decision and the best decision. Unfortunately, during the time of evaluating the idea of Tagado, we learned that a lot of companies speaking about customer experience and customer simplicity, but very no amount of companies really doing it because it's so challenging, because of those silos that are spread across the organization and better scattered across the organization. And this is what really led me to Tagado. How can we give anyone at the company, any employee, have access to reliable, accurate, and organized data that can help him generate his next decision that will deliver the most ROI, the best ROI?
All right, so let's talk for a second about this idea of bringing this to every employee, right? I mean, traditionally, when we're talking about this customer feedback, there are specific personas that are most relevant in assessing and caring about customer feedback. Why did you what is it behind the statement every employee? It's an important statement here.
Yeah, so I like to use a sentence that is full of buzzwords that I usually tend to say it. We tried to revolutionizing the decision-making process by democratizing customer feedback. So the goal is to bring the customer voice to any decision. It can be a marketing decision when you need to write the right content or need to create the right knowledge for your customers, or product marketing to help them understand what their users have challenging with. If it's product that needs to evaluate different feature requests or different product improvements, if it's customer experience teams or customer support team that can better improve the performance by creating pre-advanced answers to many questions that customers have. And everything usually is aligned around the customer. We need to bring in the best experience. We need to bring in, or here, of course, the best product. But this is our goal as the company, because by doing so, we increase retention, we increase engagement, and we reduce churn. So listening is something that is very important. It's extremely hard because this data, when it comes in a combination of thousands of reviews from online, or Facebook posts, or Twitter tweets, or even Zadok stickers, or intercom chats, there is a lot of data, a lot of interaction points with the customers, and all of these data sets, at the same time that they are locked in different departments, they are also very hard to analyze. So Tagado really streamlined the process, first to aggregate all the data together, organize it to the relevant topics that are relevant for the specific business we're working with, and then on top of it, generate the insights. So you can really listen to your customers without having a huge data scientist team or business or product analyst team, and just getting qualitative data like you never had before. We're making the qualitative quantitative, and that is something that is very hard to consume in most cases.
Incredible. Let's transition to talking a little bit about the productization of it. And I think that the question of productizing NLP is a really interesting one at that. Because at the end, what we have here is, a phenomenal, set of technologies or a set of tools, and where we need to integrate them into a way that through a user experience where the people are able to enjoy them. Tell me a little bit about what your key understandings are for natural language processing as a user experience perspective, and then how you're bringing that to the product of Tagado.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think I had a bit of a unique road to that point. And first thing is that in Prismometer, we did a lot of predictive algorithms and machine learning to really predict. And in that case, and predictive quality around the world. But I didn't have direct touch with specifically NLP. And then when I met one of my co-founders, Ep999, who has a vast experience in NLP, he was a VP at Citibank in that aspect. And then I learned from him the different technologies and capabilities. How can we utilize NLP to solve certain problems? And on top of that, we thought about how can we build an end-to-end ML ops, let's say, a solution that we have the application is the front end, but on the back end, we built a lot of infrastructure from being able to understand on the fly what are the correct topics for each company. How can clustering all the different data sets to have coherent story about those topics? How can we measure the accuracy? Are the most accurate for each type of customer? So for example, if we would like to understand if a user is talking about a bug compared to a user who's complaining about pricing, we use different models because it's different complexity of understanding of what's the problem. And I think our unique approach is that we have a wide range of, let's call them universal topics that we can use them across many companies, such as feature requests, and bug complaints, questions, user challenges. And we collaborate, we combine those with dedicated topics to the company, and then the combination of those, we can understand, okay, you have a bug in this specific feature, you have a feature request in this specific aspect of the product. So we utilize different technologies and different NLP methodologies to really gain those in-depth insights And on top of this, we built our product that is really easy to use, and it really enables everybody to quickly understand in 5 minutes what's the opportunities and risks that we can highlight in Tagado automatically for the users about what the opportunities and risks in their customers' feedback. So a bug in the check-in can be a huge risk for a company, because even if only 5% of the users complain about it, it's 5% of the revenue. So a lot of things are combinations of different aspects of the business, and how we can minimize those risks and identify those opportunities as soon as possible, so you can engage on those with the customer, improve them, and deliver as quick as possible, and of course, increase your main KPIs to benefit your users and increase the value.
And how does the product actually work, streamlined into the day-to-day of the different functions? So how, if we're looking at different functions working in different companies, walk me through some of the use cases of how these different functions will experience the product.
Sure. So at a high level, we know nowadays that each business has quite a few of public and internal customer interaction channels through which they receive feedback continuously. So it can come from any point of contact in the company. It can range from Facebook groups to Zendesk tickets. Every company has an ecosystem of customer feedback sources, but unfortunately, in most cases, this presentation is locked. So if I am a product manager that would like to understand how can I improve a feature that I'm responsible to in, or how can I improve a certain product that I'm the owner of, I can log in quickly to Tagado, look for this specific product or this specific feature, and see immediately what people are saying about it in different aspects, what features they would like me to add, what bugs they are complaining about, or even things that I sometimes didn't even consider measuring. So when you're handling with quantitative data, you are deciding in advance what you would like to measure. Tagado, because it's qualitative data, will help you building new hypotheses on what you should do next. What is the next step that you should take? And it can be applicable for any position. If you're in product marketing, when I was product manager, my managers used to tell me that you don't need to develop all the time. You can sometimes handle different situations without developing some stuff. So in many cases, you can create better knowledge. So if you have a product marketing department, you can tell them, hey, we have a knowledge gap over here. Maybe we can create a tutorial. Maybe we can create a blog post that we can help people understand this feature of our product in a better way. And we don't need to reinvent all of our UI to improve that. So it can be handled through different departments, and the accessibility for the data really accelerate this process, because I can really easily log in and see and understand what's going on with the customers. And as the company getting bigger, the distance between different departments is getting larger also. So when you're a 10 employee startup, you're talking all the time and you understand what's going on with the customer, and you all have a gut feeling about what's going on. But when you're getting to 40 employees, 70, 100, 200, suddenly your QA team is very far from the customer, and they're getting tasks coming from above, from top down through a process, every problem in that aspect, but they can't really understand what's the context. And with Tagado, we enable different employees to have the complete context of what they should do. And I think this is something that we hadn't cherished in Tagado, and giving this aspect to a business.
And what's happening? First of all, it's awesome. It's really, I'm really excited to see, both with Tagado and in general how this industry evolves, because it's, we're such a day in the initial steps of everything that's happening, and there's so many exciting things that are going on. And you're just talking about, one of those things, and it really does sound exciting. From a technological perspective, how do you see, sort of the world evolve with NLP from, the foundation models that we have, NLP as a service by companies like OpenAI, Ep999 Labs, fine-tuning models for specific use cases like the ones you're mentioning? How do you see this world evolve?
Yeah, so one thing that I usually try to remember is that NLP or machine learning is not magic, but we need to make it feel like one. So it's not magic, it's advanced algorithms and auto mathematics that generate those different things that we try to improve and automate. But it's not magic, it's a lot of hard work, and we need to make it feel like a magic. But in the specific aspect, in the approach of Tagado, we chose a multi-model approach. So and also it's very cost effective. So in some cases, we would like to classify something or understand certain topics from data. We can use different models that can generate close to the same results, but with being cost effective on the server side or on the service side. So on the server side, we usually work on Amazon or AWS or Google Cloud. But on the service side, there are services such as GPT, OpenAI, of course, and other different solutions. So we always try to evaluate what's the best model to any specific scenario. And we do it even on the fly when trying to understand our accuracy for topic detection. So when I have a specific feedback and I would like to understand what are the specific topics that are relevant in each and every feedback, I can use a specific topic detection for bug that is usually a more complex model, more natural, a more NLP-oriented model. But in some cases, I can use regular statistical models. And on top of that, use sentiment analysis. So for example, when you're trying to identify when someone is talking about price, it usually tends to be pretty easy to understand when someone is talking about price, if it's positive or negative. But when it's something that should require more context awareness, such as a bug or feature request, or even if someone asking a question, then we use more advanced models. But in some cases, we thought that we need advanced models, but we tried and we see the results and we get on the fly accuracy of different models. We can understand, okay, maybe we don't need something so complex. We can use something that a bit less resource intensive, and then we can be way more cost effective and also deliver much quicker. The onboarding process in Tagado, it's up to 2 weeks, and it's usually very complex if we compare to more traditional customer experience platforms that usually take between 3 months to 6 months. I think this process that we built around utilizing different NLP models and different technologies enables us to be really quick on delivering and, of course, bringing results.
Very, very cool. I can see how convicted you are about this, and no, it sounds really, really great. And coming from a little bit from this industry, it sounds like a really, really cool thought process. Tell me a little bit about why do you do what you do? So you were Brizometer, a very, very cool company. Got to interview the CEO for this show as well. Why go into this route? Why open a new company? Why go into NLP, customer service, customer feedback?
So I think I would touch a bit on my personal story on that end. So I left Brizometer at the peak. So it's a company I loved. I invested a lot of time there. I thought I'm going to be there for like 1-2 years, but I fell in love with the entrepreneurs, with the Ram and Zig, and we had a great connection and great chemistry. But I felt that I need to go out and start my own thing, and with them things, I decided to do that. And at that time, like a month after Corona outbreak started, so it's a very interesting point of time to building a business. But the main idea came from my experience from Brizometer, but if you took a bit of a step back, so I think the first step that led me to that was Gadgetly. It's a website that I established in 2008. It's a tech news website that we cover technology and gadgets, and one of the largest in Israel now. I'm not managing it anymore, but I have a partner that is currently handling it. And then I learned that I really not to understand how companies work and how they are deciding on the next steps. And it was usually on much larger companies, and sometimes things didn't fit in the strategy that I perceived for the company. And I felt the same when I worked with Brizometer. I had the benefit to work with a lot of large enterprises, and I had the privilege to work with those companies and help them improve their products. And the third part, as I mentioned before, is meeting Eli, my co-founder, and that is an expert in NLP. And this is where my passion was built. My eyes got opened, and we can utilize new technologies to really automate and streamline this process of from customer feedback to meaningful product and business decisions in real record time, and not putting so much effort. Because when you're going to companies and you suddenly see that the customer success team or the customer experience team have a quarterly or monthly report about our customers and the engagement and their feedback, and it doesn't make sense. It should be in real time. Like you're working with Google Analytics, you're getting in real time. And so we believe that it should be the same for the customer's experience part of the business. And it's new. It's something that in many cases, we are the first point of touch for those companies with these technologies. And it's very exciting to be there. I think the main passion was because that in Brizometer, I got a lot of respect from the co-founders and a lot of liberties. So Ron, that you mentioned, the CEO of Brizometer, used to tell me that you're the wolf. You're the wolf of the company. You're the one that everybody's coming to, and he understands everything what's going on with all the customers and all the complaints and with the development and everything. So I said, okay, why am I the only one? How can I make anybody in the company be a wolf? And this is exactly what led me to Tagado. I would like to give the power to anybody in the company to understand in few minutes what's going on in the company with the customer respect, and really help everybody make the right decisions and have the correct motivation around it and keep everybody aligned. And it's mainly from my experience and from my co-founder's experience. So everyone brought his own aspect. So Do was the team leader and Ellie a VP. So in different aspects, we found that we had struggled to understand the context of tasks and the context of the missions and the vision that we have. And really Tagado was the thing that enables us giving those capabilities and to empower different employees to do so.
Ohad, thank you so much for an amazing conversation. Best of luck with Tagado. Sounds awesome. It's crazy what's happening here. And so many different amazing things happening in the world of NLP and their intersection with humanity that I'm just wrapping my head around it. And so I really appreciate the time that you provided here and the energy, and that I look forward to cheering from the side. And again, thank you for everything. Best of luck.
Thank you very much, Michael. It was a pleasure to be on the show. Thank you.